Hi, and welcome to News You Can Use. I'm your host, Patty Nash. Do you know someone involved in community service that is deserving of public recognition? Well, on today's show, we will be talking about how you can nominate a young person for an honor they will likely never forget. The Jefferson Awards program is a prestigious national recognition system established in 1972 to honor and inspire individuals for excellence in community and public service in our nation. On today's show, we have two women from the Jefferson Awards to tell us about the awards and how you can nominate someone for this honor. And parents, yes, you are definitely allowed to nominate your child. We also have some mark your calendar items today, telling you about some upcoming events in the district. We hope you stay with us for today's show. It's all about community service. Thank you. Welcome back to News You Can Use. On today's show, we're talking about the Jefferson Awards, and I'm pleased to welcome our first guest, Michele, Fidance, who is the National Director for Delaware and Central Florida. Welcome, Michele.
Thank you, Patty. Thanks for having me on the show today.
You're welcome. The Jefferson Awards are very recognized here in Delaware. I know that when you do your annual awards, people hear about them. But I think that our viewers might want to hear a little bit about the history and about what the Jefferson Awards are.
I'm happy to tell you. So the Jefferson Awards was founded in 1972 by Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, Senator Robert Taft Jr., and a local Delawarean, Sam Beard, and basically to create a Nobel Prize for public service. And here we are 45 years later, still recognizing but also inspiring and activating public service and volunteerism through many programs in our communities, through our media partner program, in the workplace, through our corporate champion program, and then of course what I think most of the people that here know us for is for our youth programs, which is our Students in Action, Lead 360, and Globe Changers programs.
Okay.
But really the Jefferson Awards, our goal is to increase service in America through the power of celebration. In the past 45 years, that's how old we are, we have honored probably over 60,000 grassroots, what we call unsung heroes, and we've trained, so we do training in our youth programs, over 20,000 youth to help them become service leaders in their own communities.
So now you're not only recognizing community service, but you're inspiring community service.
And I think for some people who do service, like we call them those unsung heroes, they don't do what they do to be recognized. They really do it because of the passion they have for it. But for the Jefferson Awards, their story is what's powerful for us. And by sharing that story, that's where the inspiration comes in. And it inspires communities, it inspires youth, it inspires people to say, I can do that, let me try.
Okay. Can you maybe give us some examples of some of the winners so maybe viewers have an idea of what kinds of things you're looking for?
So for our local Jefferson Awards, we're looking for anybody in the community that's doing something to help somebody else without being paid. Okay. So for instance, I've seen an adult, and actually she was a parent of a student at AI High School.
Okay.
Her son was having problems in school. He needed some tutoring, and there was no real service available at that time. So she decided to start a program at AI High School called Students Overseeing Students. And she actually got students in the high school to volunteer to mentor or tutor other students. And out of that club came service. So she added a service component in it. She became a Jefferson Award, not only for what she did to help her own son, but that giving back went long beyond her son being a student there. I want to say she probably did that for about 9 or 10 years.
Oh,
so her son was long gone.
And she was a Jefferson Award
recipient. She was a local Jefferson Award winner, yes.
Yes, and I know that here at McCain High School, we've had some students who have won some gold Jefferson Awards.
Yes, they have. We have a Students in Action program, one of our youth programs here, and what we've done is create leadership teams in some of the high schools across the state, and those teams are kind of driven to inspire and activate service in their school and the community. So I know here with one of the faculty advisors, Holly Schnittinger, Holly runs her Students in Action program out of her Best Buddies service club, her group. And they do a whole lot of service throughout the year through Best Buddies.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it's important to let people know about how much our young people are doing. I mean, there is, people lament our times that we live in, but there really is a feeling of community service among young people.
I'm amazed. I was in education in my first career and kind of got out of it for a while and came back with the Jefferson Awards. Have been there 11 years now, and I'm totally inspired by what these kids do every day. How they're just selfless and giving back when they could be, going to the mall, hanging out with their friends, getting, working. They really take the time to want to give back to help others.
Okay. So tell us a little bit. I know that you have a new program called Lead 360.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what that program is.
Well, that, I have to say, is one of my favorite programs of the Jefferson Award because it is a program that activates youth ages 5 to 25. The Lead 360 Challenge is one of the largest youth service contests in America, and it's open to anybody. We've had kindergarten students do it. We've had people in college or students in college do it, and adults at age 25 do it. What we're looking for is outstanding youth service projects, either big or small, something that's passionate to that person, and to have them submit it to our website, because we're trying to collect information from all the youth telling us what's important to them. And then at the end of the contest, will end January 31st, we will distill all the entries down to about 5 national finalists. And the national finalist that is chosen will not only receive a Jefferson Award at our ceremony in New York in March, but they will also have their project powered nationally and activated nationally by the Jefferson Awards and all of our partners.
Exciting.
And then probably the third part of their prize is they will win a service trip with an organization called Rustic Pathways, and they'll get to choose a trip where they want to go to serve somewhere around the globe.
Oh, how exciting. And when will the winners be announced of that, or the national honorees?
The winner will be announced probably publicly at our national ceremony in New York in March.
Okay.
We're going to have to tell the winner who they are because we got to get them there. But we'll have a social media contest in February. So I'm going to probably reach out to you, because if it's, maybe there'll be a student from or a club from...
I know there's kids in Red Clay doing some great things.
And I've done a lot of outreach through, thank you to Dr. Daugherty and Mr. Golder for helping me do some outreach to some of the service clubs. I can tell you already, Conrad Schools of Science has posted their holiday food project. So to tell you the kinds of projects we're looking for, it could be a food drive, a clothing drive. I know Charter School of Wilmington does a dance marathon every year to benefit the B Plus Foundation. They'll post that project, plus their tutoring program that they do.
Okay.
So any kind of project. It could be a cleanup, whatever your clubs are doing. And I know just in my outreach found out that there's probably 50 projects that are out there that are potentially, I'm reaching out to all those faculty advisors now to post them.
Nice. And I find that in my job, which part of my job is to find good things that teachers are doing, they're usually so busy doing the good thing that they don't have time to nominate themselves.
Correct.
But you can nominate yourself.
Yes.
If you are doing a project that you think is worthy of Jefferson Awards taking a look at, how do they go about doing that?
So there is an online platform, lead360.jeffersonawards.org.
And we'll put that at the bottom of the screen.
Or they can contact myself or my colleague, and we're happy to collect the information through a form we can send to them.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything else about the Jefferson Awards in general you'd like to tell us before we get to our next guest, who's going to tell us a little bit more about the Lead 360 Challenge that's going on right now?
The only thing I just want to say, Patty, is just to give a shout out to the state of Delaware. This is a national contest. And so every year, I would say for the past 5 years, Lead 360 is probably 8 years old. So not so new, but kind of new.
Okay.
We've had at least 2 Delaware national finalists.
Wow.
And so the online...
Little Delaware, being big.
Little Delaware. And 2 of the projects have been, that I have seen, last year's one of the 5 national finalists from Delaware was an anti-bullying campaign this young man started. And the other one was a youth, he's now 14, for a food project he does, and he's turned that into a 501c3 nonprofit.
Wow. At 14?
At 14. Yeah.
That's terrific.
So what you said earlier about the good things kids are doing, you'd be amazed. And this particular program, just for me and my colleagues in Delaware, shines that spotlight on our Delaware kids.
Well, best of luck. I hope you get lots of nominations. And
we do too. Parents,
again,
please.
We'll put the website up again. So if you do know someone who's doing something good in the community, please let the Jefferson Awards know about it. We'd love to get more recognition for Delaware. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks,
and stay
Patty.
with us, because we're going to get a little more detail about the Lead 360 Challenge and how you can become a part of it. Thanks very much.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
You are watching a TV.
Fire!
You're watching a TV.
It's me, Eddie McGrath, the science guy.
You're watching ATV. You are watching EdTV.
You are watching EdTV.
You're watching EdTV. Watch, learn, grow.
Hi, and welcome back to News You Can Use. Next, we are welcoming Mallory Stratton. She is the Program Director for Delaware for the Jefferson Awards. We're talking today about how you can honor someone in the community who's going above and beyond on a volunteer basis to give back to the community. And Mallory, you're going to talk a little bit about Lead 360 Challenge. So welcome, and why don't you tell us a little bit again about what the Lead 360 Challenge is?
Great, and thanks again for having us here today. We're really excited to share our program with this audience and get the word out there for Lead 360. So Lead 360, as Michele had mentioned earlier, is one of the nation's largest youth service challenges, and we tap into the energy and idealism of youth ages 5 to 25 across the country and ask them, what service are you doing, or what ideas do you have for service? So we really love hearing back about the inspiring stories that come out of our youth and the great things that they're doing in their local communities and especially in Delaware.
Yeah.
So
it should make everyone feel a little better about things when you see the number of young people that are out there giving back to the community already. And Michele had said that there's been kindergartners that have won this award. What kind of community service projects does a kindergartner do? I mean, or if you want to tell us a little bit about some of the projects that you're seeing already.
Absolutely. We see a really large range of projects ranging from, as Michele had mentioned earlier, youth that have their own 501c3 nonprofit status to kids that have heard of a need in their community and have really responded and risen to the challenge. So we see anything from food drives in local schools to projects that are happening in our state parks and in areas that need some extra TLC, to even youth that power their food bank at their school and hand out 30,000 pounds of food. So we really, we love to hear any story, whether it be, a large scale project or something that's a little bit more small and unspoken of. Lead 360 is really designed to share those stories of service and to really elevate and power public service in our state.
Okay, great. And where are you right now with the Lead 360 Challenge?
We are closing in on our deadline, so we are very excited to see what our impact is in Delaware on January 31st. Last year, we did keep track of our numbers and we set a goal for ourselves of having 120 projects. We came just shy of that goal and had 104 projects submitted, which was one of our largest totals to date.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
For a small state, that is a lot of youth community projects that are going on out there.
Absolutely. And I think the numbers, too, within those projects and the number of people that were activated and involved in service really speaks for itself as well. We saw over 16,000 volunteers in each of those 104 service projects. We saw over 39,000 volunteer hours tracked.
And that's in Delaware?
Just in Delaware.
Wow.
And over 150,000 lives impacted. And actually, the independent sector values the an hour of community service at a dollar amount. So that translates to over $938,000 financial impact to the community.
Okay.
So it's incredible what our Delaware youth do, and again, the power of young people.
And we're going to put that website address up there on screen. So if you know of a young person between the ages of 5 and 25 that's doing something for their community, let the Jefferson Awards know about it. And you touched on it a little bit. Do you have a goal for this year, a project goal?
We do. We are hoping to meet our 120 project goal from last year. We feel very confident that we have a lot of service projects that are happening in the state that could put us well over that 120. But again, it's just making sure that you tell us about what you're doing so we can celebrate that youth that you've heard of that's doing service in their community.
Okay. And this can overlap clubs, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, so these do not have to be strictly a project that is just started for the Jefferson Awards. It's things that kids are doing in their lives now.
Absolutely. We've seen a lot of engagement in this program from Interact clubs across the state, from various key clubs and honor societies, even down to students that just have heard through the Jefferson Awards either through their media partner in their community or through someone in their school and have nominated themselves because they have that recognition and someone encouraging them to submit their project. So absolutely, it's not just exclusive to someone involved in one of our youth programs. It's any kid in the state who's doing any type of service.
Yeah, if you know a good kid, let the Jefferson Awards know about it. And tell us, there's local and national awards?
There are. So we're huge on powering public service and on celebrating public service with the hope that it inspires others. So in the state of Delaware, we've partnered with 7 mayors across the state who have committed to hosting and promoting the Lead 360 Challenge in their city. So that includes the city of Wilmington, the city of Newark, the city of Dover, the city of Milford, the city of Seaford, the city of Georgetown.
But there's 7 communities that are partnering, and the mayors are they letting their communities know about it, or how are they involved?
So the mayors agree to host and promote the challenge in their city or town. So every submission that we receive, we divide up and send to each of the mayors in hopes that they will pick their city's top project. At a city hall or town hall meeting in March or April, they will celebrate and recognize any submission in their city or in their surrounding area if the nearby mayor is not partnering with us. So they will give out a certificate and a pin. Anyone who's attending the city or town hall meeting is invited to stay for the awards ceremony. And then the mayors will also announce at that ceremony their top project to represent their city at the Delaware Jefferson Awards Salute to Service, which happens in April. So our 7 winners from our 7 cities attend that ceremony for the chance to be the statewide Lead 360 winner. Okay. So that's a little bit about our local recognition. That happens separately from our national contest, which I know Michele spoke about earlier.
That's right.
Where we narrow into a social media vote and select our national project.
Yeah, and then there's 5 finalists for the national project.
Correct.
Yes. Is there anything else that you want to let people know? Maybe some tips on applying for a Jefferson Award, or is it a long, involved process to apply, or can you easily go on and let you know about some of these projects that are happening?
In terms of Lead 360, we want to hear about why your project is important to you, what got you started, and some of your impact numbers. So if you have your volunteer hours, if you have the number of people you've looped into your project, if you have the lives impacted by your project, those are all things that we want to know because we like to quantify them for the mayor and really say, in your city, this is how many volunteer hours were logged through Lead 360.
Okay.
In terms of the website itself, if ever you find that website cumbersome or might not have the ability to access our website, please let us know and just tell us about your project because we're happy to submit it on your behalf.
Okay. Is there a local phone number you'd like to have us put out there for anyone with any questions or problems with the website?
Absolutely. So our office is 302-295-0532.
Okay, terrific. Anything else that you'd like to tell us about the awards?
We are really looking forward to having another outstanding year in Delaware. We believe very strongly that we have some of the most outstanding service in the country from young people in Delaware. So we're excited to see where our numbers take us again this year and to hear about all the incredible service that youth are doing in their communities.
And I always look to see whether or not there's some Red Clay students involved in the awards, and happy to say that there has been in years past, and hopefully there will be again this year.
Absolutely. We have had great engagement from the Red Clay School District in the past, and I know that this year will be no exception.
Okay, terrific. Well, as again, if you know of a student or a young person, or you are a student or young person who's doing a volunteer project, let the Jefferson Awards know about it. We can reach that 120 goal this year. I think we can. And listen to me, we can. So stay with us. When we come back, I'm going to ask you to mark your calendars for some exciting events coming up in the district. Stay with us. Thank you.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it.
You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You are watching.
You are watching. You are watching.
You are watching Ed TV.
You are watching.
You are watching. You are watching.
You are watching Ed TV.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Have some events coming up in Red Clay I'd like to tell you about. This Friday, January 26th, the Red Clay Regional Conference for Equity in Education will be held at Cab Calloway School of the Arts from 8 a.m. to noon. This conference is free for Red Clay employees, and it's designed for educators, administrators, support staff, and interested community members to provide an inspirational and relevant professional learning opportunities, as well as the chance to network. Registration begins at 7:30 a.m. This year's theme, Understand Everyone, will include workshops that present effective strategies to meet the needs of diverse student populations. Fatima Stone from the National Institute of Innovation in Manufacturing Biopharmaceuticals, an Assistant General Counsel, and the University of Delaware will deliver the keynote address. Red Clay embraces the opportunity to initiate discussion around this important topic and is dedicated to the continued support of all of our students. Our goal is to teach effective strategies that will support educators in meeting the needs of our diverse populations. So said April Anderson, who runs the conference for Red Clay. The two sessions will feature professional speakers, including university professors. Conference attendees can choose from 10 different workshops that address topics including barriers and support systems for at-risk students, self-regulation strategies, white privilege, and race-related issues, culturally responsive classroom environments, and high-quality assignments. Additional topics include restorative practices, family dynamics, and cultural competence. For non-Red Clay employees, registration is $25 per person, and we hope to see you there. Second up, our 9th annual Red Clay College and Career Fair will be held on Tuesday, March 13 from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at John Dickinson High School. New this year will be the presence of area business representatives who will share career information about the current and future job market, needs of employers, and work skills needed for future jobs. This is free and open to the public. The College and Career Fair will also provide information to assist families with the college application process. More than 50 college admission counselors from regional colleges and universities will be available to answer questions and give presentations on financial aid, scholarships, the College Board, and the college application process. Bus transportation will also be available from Wilmington. Brand new designer gowns will be on sale from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 50% off or more on Sunday, February 11th at the Alchemy Salon, 4633 Ogletown Stanton Road in Newark. The sale will feature gowns size 0 to 16 starting at $75, raffles, food, music, and more. All proceeds benefit the Leukemia Society and the Students of the Year campaign. For more information, contact LLS of Delaware at 302-661-7300. And finally, Cab Calloway has begun The Art of Conversation, featuring distinguished professionals with ties to the Wilmington area. It began on January 23rd with Maurice Hines. Next up is Susan Stroman and Sarah McBride, who will share their experiences and stories about their illustrious careers. Susan Stroman, a Dickinson graduate, is a theater major at the University of Delaware, is the recipient of many distinguished awards and will speak on Friday, February 28th. Susan created, directed, and choreographed many award-winning Broadway shows, including The Producers, which won a record 12 Tony Awards. Sarah McBride, a Wilmington native, is a former Red Clay student and National Press Secretary for the Human Rights Campaign, and was the first openly transgender person to address a major party's political convention, which she spoke at the 2016 Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia. She will share her story on April 25th. The series is a collaboration between the Delaware Theater Company and the Cab Calloway School Fund. It'll be sold as a package for $75. Tickets are now available at TicketLeap, and we'll put the address up online. For more information, visit theartofconversation.org. Well, that's all we have for today's show, News You Can Use. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope to see you next time.